Hello students, in today's Evsll video, you are going to learn lesson number 7. The name of lesson is Swarajya, first conquest. Do you know students what means conquest? Conquest means capture or take control of. Swarajya first conquest means what's here? Shivaji took oath of Swarajya. And first conquest means first he captured fort. Which fort? Torna fort. And how he captured Torna fort, about this information we are going to see in this chapter. It is no doubt true that Shivaji and his comrades took the oath of Swarajya in the temple of Raireshwar. But it was a very difficult task. In those days, Maharashtra was governed by 4 different powers. Though Shivaji and his comrades, means friends, took the oath of Swarajya, but it was very difficult task because in those days Maharashtra was governed by 4 different powers. 4 different powers which see the Mughal Emperor of Delhi, Sultan Adil Shah of Bijapur, the Portuguese of Goa and the Siddhi of Janjira. They were powerful opponents, firm in their authority. Opponent means what? Enemies. Means they were powerful enemies and firm in their authority. Now authority means what? The power of act or order. Means they were very firm in their authority. No one would dare utter a word against them. Means no one can utter a word, say any word against these powerful enemies. Under these difficult conditions, Shivaji had taken the oath of Swarajya. There was no comparison between the vast forces of the enemy and the handful of the Shivaji's Maulas. Shivaji's Maula means who here? Shivaji's army. And they were very less in number. If you see the enemy's vast forces, means they were having a large army. Also they were having weapons. Compared to them, Shivaji was having less Maulas, means army. But Shivaji's mind was made up and his firm resolve was his great source of strength. Resolve means decision, means Shivaji's firm decision. It was a great source of strength. Means it was a great power. Next point we are going to see, that is the Torna fort. Students, you can see here picture of Torna fort. Now what it is told in this point we will see. Shivaji controlled the Jagir of Pune, Supe, Chakan and Indapur. Control means take in hand and Jagir means land. Shivaji controlled the Jagir of which? Pune, Supe, Chakan and Indapur. Means he took in his hand the Jagir of Pune, Supe, Chakan and Indapur. All the forts in Jagir were, however, in the charge of officers from the court of Bijapur. Means all the forts in the Jagir of Pune, Supe, Chakan and Indapur were in the hand of officers. And that officers were from the court of Bijapur. The officer who controlled the forts also and controlled the surrounding territory. And therefore, all the talk of Swarajya without the control of the fort was meaningless. Most of the forts and the surrounding territory, means surrounding area, it was in the hand of officers. So without forts, Swarajya was meaningless. If you want to establish Swarajya, what we need? We need the control of forts. A hill fort gave strategic support to the ruler and Shivaji decided to capture one at a suitable time. Strategic means helping to achieve a plan. Hill forts are very useful to achieve our plan. So Shivaji decided to capture one of the fort at a suitable time. For this purpose, he had selected the fort of Torna. It stands to the southwest of Pune in the Kanand Valley. It was a renowned fort. Renowned means famous. Well suited for defense. Well suited means appropriate. Defense means protection. Means for protection it was appropriate fort. Means proper fort. There were 2 strong marches on the way to the fort. What is a machi? See, a machi is a fortification of a natural plateau formed on the slope of a hill. Fortification means defensive wall. And plateau means an area of relatively level high ground. One of these marches was the Zunjar Machi and the other Bundla Machi. Students, you can see here one wall is there, on that boy is standing. That wall only, it is called what? Bundla Machi. Zunjar Machi, like its name, could offer powerful defense against the enemy. Through the Zunjar Machi, what you get? Powerful defense against the enemy, means you can protect yourself from the enemy. The only access, means entry to the fort, was across the Zunjar Machi. The entry of Torna fort, it was across the Zunjar Machi. It is a very difficult passage with high hills on one side and deep valley on the other. It was very difficult passage, means it was very difficult way with high hills on one side. You can see front, high hills were there and deep valleys on the other side. Other side of this march you can see deep valleys were there. A careless person may easily lose his balance and end his life in the deep valley. Both sides of this march you can see deep valleys are there. And if you carelessly go from there, easily you can lose your balance and you can end your life. Torna was considered one of the strong forts of Maharashtra. In the fort, there is the temple of goddess Toranjai. Students, do you know the difference between god and goddess? Now one example I will give you. Now Shankar, Ganpati, Vishnu, they are called god. And Mahalakshmi, Tulja Bhavani, they are called goddess. So Toranjai is called here goddess. In the fort, there is the temple of goddess Toranjai. That is why the fort is called Torna. Strangely enough, this powerful fort was neglected by Adil Shah. There were neither enough troops for its defense nor enough ammunition. This strong fort was neglected by Adil Shah and he was not having enough troops. Troops mean a group of soldiers he was not having for its defense and nor enough ammunition. Now, ammunition means what? The weapons, whatever needed, the supply of bullets or shell, that also he was not having. Shivaji knew this and this was exactly what he wanted. He decided to capture the fort and thus lay the foundation of Hindvi Swarajya. This fort was neglected by Adil Shah and that only Shivaji want. And because of that only Shivaji what done? He decided to capture the fort of Torna and lay down the foundation of Hindvi Swarajya. Next point that we are going to see, that is the drums of Swarajya begin to sound. Means Shivaji started to work for Swarajya. First he decided to take Torna fort in his hand. With a few select bands means group of Maula, Shivaji descended into the Kanand valley. Swift-footed means very fast running like the deer and lion-hearted in courage. The Maulas raced to the top and captured the strategic position in the fort. The Maulas were swift-footed, means very fast they were running like deer. And lion-hearted in courage, means like lion, they were courageous. What they done? They raised the top and captured the strategic position in the fort. Strategic means what? Carefully designed or planned. Means according to planning they took position in the fort. Tanaji Malusre hosted the Maratha flag at the main entrance of the Torna fort. Esaji Kank, a trustworthy, means able to be trusted, and loyal companion of Shivaji, posted his guards at the important points. The fort was captured almost without any resistance and the sky was filled with the shout of Shivaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Resistance means opposition. The first battle drums and pipes of Hindvi Swarajya had sounded and their echo reverberated throughout the valley. Reverberated means to be continued to be heard. The picture of drums you can see here and the picture of pipes also it is given here. The first battle drums and the pipes of Hindvi Swarajya had sounded means Shivaji captured first fort, that is a Torna. So there were the sound of drums and pipes. And the drums and pipes echo reverberated throughout the valleys. Echo means the repeated sound. Shivaji named this fort Prachandagad. Shivaji had named the Torna fort as a Prachandagad. Today's homework: how much part today I have taught you that you have to read. Thank you.